Hello, Tarot Tube, and welcome. So today I'm hopping in on the 3 fat readers who did 5 favorite decks. Look at that, I've got nail polish on, but I'm also gardening, so it's a mess. All right, I digress. So I'm gonna give this a try. Stay to the end, and I'll tell you which one of my Heroes Journal side quest decks is my favorite, and I will pull a card for the collective for a nice little side quest. But you got to stay till the end if you want that. If you like these kinds of videos, I put out a couple a week, and I'm also experimenting with doing magical games. So here we go. I'd appreciate a like, subscribe if it's the kind of thing you like. It helps both of us, and I appreciate it so much. All right, if you've seen my videos before, you know Spirit Keepers Tarot. That's, if I could only have one deck, that would be the deck that I chose. Yep, so here we go. I can't imagine, well, yeah, I'm sure most people know about this deck, but I don't get the feeling that a lot of people really use it a lot because I don't see people talking about it. And so I would just encourage y'all to reconsider. This is not just a collector sale. Say I did a reading and I left my cards here. It's not like, this is not a collector's edition. It's a real thing. It's a fabulous thing. So just to talk a little bit about the deck. So you have 3, what we think of, most of you think of as Fool cards. And when you do your reading, you select one of these: Spirit in Search of Science, the Seeker; the Keeper, Spirit in Petition of Spirit; or the Initiate, Spirit in Search of Experience. And you use that as your significator, or some people say signifier, I think. So if I was going to look for experience, I would put this down on my cloth, my reading cloth, before I pulled my cards. So this is the Revelation edition. There's a second printing that I think is available now. I don't think it's sold out. I'm waiting for mine, but I think it's supposed to come out this summer. So you can see how I put my cards back in. Right, so look, it's very rich in its illustration. And I think that may put some people off. And so I'm hoping to encourage some of y'all to give it a try here. Excuse me. You don't have to use the big thick book. Yes, there is a book that's about this deck, but you don't have to use that. You can just use this. You will have to sort of get used to the way she lays it out, because she does, I'm saying she, that's Benabel Wen. She's got a brief introduction, a little bit about the 3, what we think of as Fool cards. Then she jumps right in, see, she calls it the Significator. And then she jumps right into the major arcana. She'll do the first 7 keys, integrate the self. So I just want to show you how this is laid out, so maybe it won't feel so intimidating to some people. Then she'll do the second 7, which are second group of keys, 8 to 14, integrate the cosmos. So first it's self, then it's cosmos. Let's get to the next one. Whoops, I think I went past it. Here we go. And then the third 7, keys 15 to 21, integrate the divine. So see how it works up: self, cosmos, divine. Then she does the next bit, which is the aces. Talks about the aces, how they function, then goes into 2s. So you'll see she does the 3s. She does the numerical significance and then goes through each of the ones in the suits. And then she'll do, so which she goes up to, how far do we go? I forget, yeah, to the 3s. And then she jumps to the court cards. This is the way Benabel Wen thinks of these things being arranged. And she's renamed them. So the, let's see, what we think of as the king is the archangel. The queen is a shield, knights are shining ones, and pages are heralds. And then this has the Thoth correspondences as well. So if you read Thoth, if you read RWS, she combines a lot of these things in her deck. So you'll find it interesting, no matter which system you prefer. So then she goes through the cards, and then she'll pick up again with the fours. See, fours are building. Whoops, I skipped the fives. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Fives are expanding. See, let's just read these because fives are very meaningful for me. So fives, storm and stress, the pioneers pushing the boundaries, disrupting the status quo, destabilizing forces, yet innovation requires risk. Realm of the gifted translators and change makers. Fives denote growing pains. So that's kind of a more encouraging way of looking at fives instead of just fighting, right? 6 is nurturing. 7 is reasoning. 8s are manifesting. 9s are culminating. I'm predisposed to like the 9s. And the 10s, whoops, where did I go to the beginning of 10s? 10s are mounting. The maestro is again the novice. After one destiny is achieved, another is revealed. This is the wheel of the law. So let's just look a few of the cards if you're not familiar with the deck. So here's one of the court cards. Here's the 8 of orbs. There's so much symbolism in here that you can really spend an enormous amount of time with it, but you don't have to. You can just say, oh, 7 of chalices, that's obviously her cups. You can just hop in here. I'm really hoping I'm selling this to some of y'all. Right, there it is. It's just one long paragraph to read. That's it. It's not, you can read it. You can do it. Don't be overwhelmed. It's so rich. And then if you feel like it, if you really want to get into it, then you can do a little path working with these cards. Look how rich they are. And you can reference the big book. I didn't have that out. Let me just grab the big book so you can see what I'm talking about. So every edition of her decks has got a big book, a book of maps, right? So if you want to, you can really get into it. Oh, we open up to one of my favorite cards, the Force, as she calls it, right? So she's got prevailing energy, power cultivated, attribute manifested, and then she's got these different meanings, right? It's just fantastic. And then she describes it, she explains all the different symbols that she's got, and then she has notes about her being the artist of it. So yeah, I know people think that this is a lot, and it kind of is, and then again, it's kind of not. So that's why this would be, you know, my desert island, ride or die, Spirit Keepers Tarot. Very excited to have my second copy because this feels so precious to me that I don't actually share it with anyone. So now that I'm going to have a second copy, maybe I will share it with people. Which brings us to deck number 2. All right, so deck number 2 needs to be a deck that I would use to read for people. And this is a tough one, and I'm going to try to make a decision right now. So, Light Seers Tarot, which I feel super comfortable with. Unfolding Path Tarot, which is relatively new to me. I've only had it for a couple months. And the This Might Hurt. This is the mass market edition. I had the independent deck. I am going to let it go. So that will be in the Supportive Tarot Trade Tuesday next week, if you're interested in picking up that independent one. So, yep, because I trade it for this one. I like these colors. I prefer lighter colors to black, and doesn't have that black back. It has this back. It's a little more slippery. It doesn't have the gilding. I'm one of those people that doesn't really love gilding. I'm sorry, y'all. It hurts my fingers. So this is the This Might Hurt. As you can see, I haven't even used it yet. But it's so, I just think this is a lovely one to share if you're doing readings for other people. I wouldn't hesitate to bring it out for anyone at all. All right, the next one is the Light Seers Tarot. This is the I'm going to try to decide between these three. Now, the Light Seers Tarot feels like I can share it with anybody, but it also feels like I really identify with Chris Ann. I mean, I don't know that much about her personally, but just from what I see on social media, and I did do like a recorded class with her, I just feel like we're sort of simpatico. We're coming from the same place. She comes off as being a little more artsy-fartsy than me, but underneath it all, I think we've got a lot in common. So I would feel, if I was using this for other people, and I have, if I would feel like I was, I think, sharing some of my energy in addition to just, you know, getting a message from universe to share with my querent. Yes, that's a good word. It's such a beautiful deck. So many people are familiar with it. I feel like if you brought this out, it wouldn't like freak anybody out. They'd be like, oh, okay, that's friendly enough. So, you know, I take into consideration that some people I read for, they've never had a tarot read before. And then the third one I'm thinking about is the Unfolding Path Tarot. Now this one, look at that back. Look at that back. It's gorgeous. This one, I'm really liking this a lot. I like the diversity in it. It's got some older people. As a crone, I sometimes feel left out of decks. Not that I have to see myself in every deck, but let's just talk about the population of the world. We're not all young, beautiful people in our 20s and 30s. So I just feel like if we're talking about representation, we have to talk about all different kinds of representation. And for me, age is important. It's personal, but yeah. So age and gender, of course. So this deck, I almost wish it had keywords on it to make it even friendlier. I love this. I just love this. So, oh my goodness, have I felt that. Oh, look at this. The Page of Cups is this guy. Yeah, you know what? I just decided. This is it. This is the deck I would bring. Okay, this makes it into my top 5. So we've got number 1 is the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. Number 2 is the Unfolding Path, the deck I would use to read for other people. And myself, of course. All right. I was thinking of what to call this deck, and I'm going to call this deck, Give It To Me Straight, and I'll take a side of cute with that. This is the Way of the Panda Tarot. I have the, she's got a cute name for this. Oh, I can't think of it. She being Kimberly Zan. This is the mini. And this one I got because I loved it, and it's one of the first like indie decks I started buying, and I was like, oh my gosh, these things are so expensive, but I can afford the mini. So I got the mini, and I absolutely adore it. I can do a big spread with this one and really, you know, use a lot of cards if I want to. I can do lots of clarification, and I just think that I get the messages so clearly from these. Look at this Justice with just a little touch of humor in there. So you can see I used to always have it upright because I didn't read reversals, but lately I have been mixing it up a little bit. Like, look at the 6 of Cups with the hat, the pussy hat. Oh my goodness, thank you. So it's like, it's also grounded in a specific period of time too that is important to me. So I love this. This is my travel deck. I usually bring this when I'm traveling, and I pair it with Roots and Wings in the tin, and I just love it. Look at this with the red panda. There's just so much. There's so much going on here that I enjoy. So this is it. This is That's deck number 3, and it's nice and small. It could be my travel deck. Deck 4. This is not really in any order, y'all. It's just 5 decks. Okay, so first of all, it's in this Peggy bag. Uh-oh, I made my candle go out. I hope that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so this is the Cute and Creepy deck. Let me get this out of here. Zoom, there's the back. And this I picked because I thought, what kind of a world building deck could I put in there? Because I do enjoy a deck that has kind of come from a certain world. It's like, I mean, the way the panda does too. So this is the deck that I picked. I have really good feelings about it because I got it as a result of a Say Yes to the Deck with Lisa and Peggy. I made 2 significator cards to use with this deck, and you know, it just depends on how I feel. I'll pick one of these and put it down. So here it is. It's the Cute and Creepy deck. I should see how Peggy's liking it. You know, whatever, gosh, was this 2 years ago, maybe? Something like that. It's been a while. So if you haven't seen it, here it is. And it has got the craziest illustrations. I love the kind of anime style here. I love the super creepy, and yet, you know, like, you're not going to get a nightmare from this tower, are you? But look at what a good reader it is with her up there. She's got the feels. Here's the lightning. And I love this, you know, this is that kind of, I think of these clouds as Japanese, but they're also Korean and Chinese, that style. It's just fun. It's super, super fun. Look at the devil. I know I'm saying look at it, but that's sort of how I feel when I see these cards. It's like, nope, I get that. There is that King of Cups. Yep, I get it. It just makes sense to me. It really makes sense to me. And it's fun. And it kind of lets me sort of sink into another place, another style, in a way that none of these other decks that I showed you does. It's just like this fantasy world, this cute and creepy fantasy world. Yep, and I've got some favorites in here. Well, almost anything that's got a teacup is going to make me happy. Cheers. Oh, that's cooling off. And my candle went out. I don't know what that means. And the Hermit, so sweet. Oh my gosh, so sweet. And it does have a little book that you have to get separate. I'm not sure what the story is with this one, if it's still available, and you can color in the book. I don't think that you need the book to read the cards, but if you're not familiar with all these characters, this kind of thing is very helpful. Like, I wouldn't have known this is a water Nixie. So you can learn something about these fantastic creatures. And I keep it in my fun little Peggy bag. All right, we are down to the last of the 5. And like I said, there's no order to this. And again, I was really torn. So the last deck needs to be just a plain playing card deck. I took the card reading class with Kelly at Truth and Story. And wow, did that just added so much depth to my ability to read cards, and it was just fantastic. I loved it. And I'm really torn because this is the deck. This is just a plain old bicycle deck. It's the 1885, and I just like this kind of steampunk back. Look, it's got the bicycle and the gears. It's fun. And it's got, see the US, that's the United States Playing Card Company. So this is what whoops, how did that get mixed up? What did I do? Oh, I see what I did. Okay. So there's nothing, you know, particularly unusual here, but it is a throwback to an earlier font, so it doesn't really look like a modern deck like what you'd pick up right now. But I just love it. I love the finish. I love the way it handles. I love the way it shuffles. Like, I can I can bridge and riffle with this. Well, not right now, apparently. I did a lot of yard work. I'm feeling a little bit shaky in my arms. So yeah, there it is. Look at this. Look at this cool card. So that is one of them. And here is the other. So the advantage of this little one, it's definitely harder to handle. Again, it's just a bicycle deck. Although I have started collecting playing cards now too, because I didn't have enough stuff, right? Look how cute and tiny. And the advantage of this is sometimes when we do just a regular cartomancy reading, you're going to lay out a lot of cards. And if you need to record it or take a picture of it, that can be hard if you're doing these. So there's the little one. Okay, it's time to decide. Time to decide. Ooh, I know what we could do that would be fun. All right, so I've got, let me see if I can find it. So I have some coins and things that came with different decks. Let's take a coin and let's decide that way. Yep, let's use this one. This coin came with the collector's edition of the Citadel deck. It's a collector's edition, special edition, something. All right, so if we get the open eye, it's a yes. And if we get the closed eye, it's a no. All right, so we're going to ask, should it be this one? All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it went out of, I got a no. Now let's see what happens if we do this. Whoops, that was not right. And it's a yes. Okay, so that was consistent. It's the little one. It's the little one. We'll take the little one. And is that it? That's it. Okay, those are my 5 decks. Now, I promised you if you stayed till the end, please hit the like button. I promise you if you stayed till the end, I'd tell you which of the Heroes Journal side quest decks is my favorite, and I would do a side quest for everybody. Okay, this is the one. This is my favorite one, the Astoria Academy. I think that's the one that it came with. All right, here it is. If you're not familiar with this, it's very cute, very, very cute. And it's got this sort of magical academy theme. Words. All right, so let's just do one. And it's a side quest, you know, like you're going about your day, you got all your things you're doing. This is just a side quest to sort of throw you in a different direction and say, why don't you do this, just to break out of the ordinary. All right, we're going to do 3 piles. Let me just double check. This is, I'm going to put this up a little bit more. I always tend to go down like that while I'm reading the cards. Okay, so take a minute, take a deep breath, let it out, and either pick pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And here they are. If you pick pile 1, you got play a board game. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us, Gandalf. If you picked pile 2, you got learn a new word and use it in a sentence. My brain is the key that sets me free, Harry Houdini. And if you picked number 3, pile 3, you got set an early bedtime for more sleep. You can only come to the morning through the shadows, J.R.R. Tolkien. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you got a kick out of it. I'm going to be looking for other people's videos, so if you do one, be sure to pop it in the comments so I can find you. Please hit the like button on your way out. If you think you'd like more, hit the subscribe, and of course the bell lets you know when I post a new video. Thanks. Bye-bye.